Wednesday morning. It's a busy one now on the spring unit. It's all the fresh calves here. We've got about 10 total just calves. All these here. This one here is literally just dropped in the yard. I had a sheet of sunset. Just loaded out the calves in the trailer to take down. 7 here. All pretty much the same, except when we've got a whitish one. All coming out very black with little white dots on their heads. All about the same size, 7 in there. That's our biggest day. We'll put the cage on the trailer next time because 7's enough in there, and then we'll have 5 in there next time. Emma's just made a pen at. Open it up, ready to go. We open at the back here. Now they run. One good thing about anything with a little bit of jersey in it, crossbreeders, they're just ready. They're ready to go. Just turn my head torch on, man. There we go. That's a big one. Must come out Irish K, that one. Camera there. Right, so whilst we've been doing this once just calves, so that cow and calf would go in the calving shed, spend the rest of the day in there till tomorrow morning. Now we've got 7 in here, 2 too many, but we'll put 2 into this pen. So we're probably going to fill it 2 pens today. It's going to be 10 a day, I reckon. There's there, just put the calves on. Another 2 here, on the go. Check them around, make sure they're all alright. Mainly all heifers, I think. That's a heifer too. Heifer. Just having breakfast at the moment in my house. Henry, our little helper there, also my son, is going to school. Now this is what I want to show you, this weather gauge here. I bought this a couple of years ago. Tells you how cold it is outside, how cold it feels. So quite cold at the moment, minus 4.5. Temperature inside 17.6, it's actually quite cold because usually it's about 20 in there. Says it's going to snow. I don't believe that, and a rain gauge share had no rain today. Comes in very handy, use it quite often. This is why it's so cold in there. Flagstone floors. Use that very often. Look at that, see what time it is, and temperature outside comes in handy. Also looking forward at the weather, quite often predicts it quite right, but as in the day, because no way is it going to snow. After breakfast, I'm just walking out the farm because my truck again has broken down. And Blue is always going on it. Toby's having a laugh. Alright, see you in a minute. I've got no truck though. I'm going to take the yard scraper down to the dry cows and sweep them up. I'm on the all year round calving herd at the moment. So a little update, up on the spring unit, we had 7 calving a night. That puts us at 13 in 24 hours. So we're starting to rack them up now. We get a few days, or we get this week of like average between 8 and 10 a day. We're going to be well away. We'll get up to 70 before you know it, and that's what we want to do. We want to get some decent milk going in the tank. Gets a lot easier then putting cows in the tank because you've got your build up of fresh milk already in there. Toby's just stored down the calves. So they've got a nice bit of straw. They like lying out in the sun at the moment. Very cold it is, but it's minus 4 something last night. So Really, really cold, but these calves are loving it. They sit out here in all weathers. These are the freshest calves here. This one here, not far different to the ones what are calving up on the spring unit at the moment. You see you've got a few black ones, one white one black and white one. Fairly blackish, crossbreedy looking thing there. But we're starting to build up in the sheds everywhere. I've got some steers up on the organic unit what need to go on. I think we've got about 31 left over from last year when we got shut down with TB, and we couldn't sell them because no one wants them. No one wants crossbred bull calves. So we kept them on, and now is the time to go on because now we're calving. We've got a big build up of you know, we're going to have a build up of calves. Before you know it, this fat calving shed's going to be full up, and we're going to have to shift about 30 down to the young stock buildings out there. So I've applied for a licence for that because we're shut down with TB out there. We're shut down with TB down there. So I've had to apply for another separate licence for down here to move all on the 20th, I think. So in another 12 days time. And then that'd be all the male calves, more of the male animals really, from 3 months up to 18 months gone. And that'll free up a lot of space. Because even though we've got a lot of grass out in the field, and this is a big farmland wise, it's going to be another year, I think, where we're going to be a little bit short on grass, even if it is horrendously good growing weather all through the summer. But we'll see. We're, you know, now we're not slapping fertiliser on like we used to. I think we're always going to be a little bit short. But the last couple of summers have been so up and down all the time, and that goes back to why we feed cake up on the organic unit all the time, all the way through. It's because it's so peak and trophy all the time. It just pays to shovel a bit of cake into them, even if it is horrendously expensive at the moment. Milking cows here, so we do all the feeding in the morning on these cows. We've been doing it all winter. It works really well. We used to do one in the morning, one in the afternoon. We thought that was better for them because it's fresher, but that made no difference to the milk. You'll just tool feed them all once a day in the morning. Plus we ain't got to push the silage up at all in the daytime. We just got to push it up tonight, and then it's job done, ready for tomorrow morning. We're doing a lot of work at the moment actually before breakfast at the moment. So usually what we did the last couple of years is in the morning we do the essential side, get the cows out, scrape out, do the milking, what have you, feed the odd animal what needed feeding, do the calves and whatnot. But this time we're even putting sand in early in the morning, just so after breakfast we're all freed up to do other jobs. So it's working really well, because up on the spring unit, if it does get really, really busy, we might have some really, really big days. We shall channel everybody and focus on that place for like a couple hours a day to get the main work done. But I can imagine looking at the weather going forward, the cows are out once a day for about 4 hours, and if it stays dry, they'll just keep going out like that. There's a nice bit of grass up there. What is peculiar for this time of year, because usually up on that farm there is no grass, because we graze it down to the dirt in the autumn, because the cows come in so late. They come in at like, I think this year it's like the 10th of December they come in. But we planted a lot of lay grass and it's grew all through the winter again, even though it's been fairly cold. So they're gonna go out on a strip fence any day now. We're just finishing off a few paddocks what had a bit of winter grass on, and they go out on that, and they're going on a fence what's in like a 40-acre field. And that should take us right the way through really, because they have a bit of silage in between that. So that'll take us all the way through to April, and we might have a scratch round on a few other paddocks. I'm just going to check the water, see if this water's iced up on the calves, so I've got to get that and put fresh stuff in, because they all need access to fresh water just whenever they fancy. I'm going to take these bowls on in too. Yeah, he's froze up. I'm going to take that out and redo that. And they should, any of them feeling a little bit under weather, they get better, because it is crypto on all our farms now. What is the main thing with these cows? It's spread around the whole lot. It's always been on this farm. We never had it on a spring unit, but now it's just spread around. It's inevitable really, that virus. You can't really keep it out. It doesn't matter how much you disinfect and whatnot. So the fuel, we got a fuel tank on this farm, was about 2 years old, and it's got a split in it, so we can't fill it with fuel at the moment. We've had to send it back and get another one. That's a massive headache, because this tractor here, this yard scraper, drinks the most fuel at the moment, and we we got to drive this one up the other farm, was 3 miles away. And it goes about 10k. Just to fill it up. It's like halfway day gone. I've got to take it on up in a minute and fill it up. So we get another fuel tank back. Just coming into the dry cow unit now and I'm going to start scraping them out. Yeah, I've got to drive him up the other farm. 3.5 miles, not too far, and it's all lanes, so it's not too bad. It takes a long time though. And then we've got to fill it up, drive it back at the moment until our new fuel tank turns up. So we've been doing a lot of dehorning. It's been cold and icy. Before that, icy weather. We've been taking muck out and whatnot. Good weather for dehorning. Cold. I thought I'd tidy up all these steers before they go to market. Not that I'm expecting we're going to get a lot because they're, you know, they're all right, but they're not, say, fantastic. You know, they're Holstein Friesian again, so they're thin on the back end, butch on the front. So as soon as they go in a ring, people are going to see that. So I'm not expecting too much, but they got to go. We've got to free up space because we've got a lot of heifers building up everywhere. We had another good heifer run down there. We don't use no sex semen on the all year round calving herd. We use just bulls, beef bulls, Friesian bulls. So we get a mixture. We get a lot of like Friesian bull calves, and then we get a bit of beef and heifer calves. But the heifer calves, we've had a lot of heifer calves this year. It's usually so-called, like, I don't know if it's true or not, but if you run bulls, like, you've got a higher chance of actually having bull calves. They reckon the percentage is higher. But God knows if that's true or not. If maybe someone can comment and say if that is true. I don't know. But we've had a good heifer run this year anyway, so it's good enough. Right, just before I scrape them out, got a calf running about. I've got to sort that out. Whoa, got a bull calf here. Saying heifer calf's got a bull calf. What's that all about? Heifer's calved. Couldn't see mother then, but here she is. My girlie. Let me get her out here so we can have a look at her. Oi, 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 oi. Oh, dumb one. Just sweat one lot out. Here's Toby coming in with the straw. Ready for bedding down. Still got 6 stringers going into them. I think this is last year's straw. I don't think this is this year, so I think we're getting back at the shed now. At the back of the shed. On top of having no fuel on this farm, the fuel gauge isn't working on this tractor. Get in. Get a smaller bit. That's like fine. Got about a quarter of a tank. Right, don't try that at home. Can't see the fuel. Go and fill him up. Right, just whipped out the other farm to get some fuel and whip back. Well, when I say whipped, it's about a half-hour round trip. Toby's finished drawing down, he's putting in silage bells. What he does with these silage bells at the moment is these are packed in so tight, there's so much silage in one of these square bells, it's unreal. He cuts all the strings on them but only leaves one string on the top. And then he can pick it up with that bell spike there. He's got 2 spikes on that, I think of a jigger, I forget what you call it. He's just got a 2-prong bell spike on the front of the loader. Yeah. And only 1 string in there, so all I've got to do now, get my knife out. All we've got to do is cut 1 string. Job done then. So we're going to cut that string, that string, that string. They're alright. They've all been strawed down. Dry cow's all strawed up, so we're done down there. We just got to take that heifer out of the dairy, and then we're done. Then we've got to take a load of hay out the spring unit. Not from here, but from another farm what we got. Let's clean that calf shed at the moment. What I gotta watch with this calf shed here, we just weaned some calves off and put them in a bigger group. So we're gonna clean this shed out. What we gotta watch with this calf shed here is brick walls all the way around, like old brick walls. It's breeze block walls, but they are, God, when you go in a tractor, like we used to have little tractors, like 90 horsepower, 75 horsepower. Now we got this one, what's like goes up to like 170. We gotta watch them push these bloody brick walls over. So watch this, look at these walls there, they're wobbling. Toby's guiding me in. I'm gonna do it one-handed with the camera. I reckon it's actually wobbling that wall. It's pretty loose. That's about as much as I can get, Tobes. Stood there with a pick. Let's start shoveling, boy. There we go. This is opposite a dairy. Got big tin doors on the front. Don't know if you can see that. The sun's a bit bright. I'll take this round there and chuck it in the pile. There he is, chucking the last little bit in. Yeah, these brick walls along here, you push that too hard against them, they just flop over. Cause mass amount of work. You can't beat sleeper panels these days. What I'll do now then is I'll go and get a bit of straw with a bucket, straw it out and transfer some calves over anywhere, and then they got that little feeder there and a trough, and it'll suit about 10 calves. It's about the best we're going to get. This wall's there, see? There. Not even too bad. Too far. No. Yeah, he is a bit wobbly. Oh well, we're here now. Here we go. Who says we don't do manual work? Who says we don't do no manual work?